we work for the NJ4S Union Hub. Today we'll be having our presentation done by our very own Brianah Bryant. Brianna is a prevention consultant here at Prevention Links. She's dedicated to all matters of human resources, human services. She's done quite a bit of work in the field. She's as I stated, a prevention consultant here at NJ4S Union Hub. She has a master's of public health degree from Montclair State University, has a commitment to our community health education, wellness, has worked on various initiatives aimed at improving health outcomes and promoting health equity. She's very, very passionate about making a positive impact amongst all of our communities. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Brianah Bryant. Let her take it from here.
Okay, so as Rashawna mentioned, my name is Brianna. I work here for NJ4S and Prevention Links, and today we are going to talk about time blindness. Just a little quick intro as to what NJ4S stands for. So NJ4S stands for New Jersey Statewide Student Support Services. We're here to deliver services to support youth mental health, prevent bullying, substance use, and other common issues in the youth. NJ4S strives to give you the tools you need to rise to the many challenges of growing up. So we are going to talk about understanding time blindness and why time slips away and how to take it back. So what is time blindness? Time blindness is a difficulty in sensing the passage of time. So basically your brain isn't aware of how much time passes. Obviously this would affect your planning, right? Because you're not sure how much time is passing, your task management and your punctuality. And this even affects when people are motivated to do something. There's a misconception that people only lose track of time or don't care about time when they are doing something they're not interested in, but this can affect your everyday life. Like for example, if you are highly motivated to go on vacation, but you suffer from time blindness, you probably forgot to pack, you're packing last minute, you run into the airport way too late, right? So that's an example of how time blindness can affect something that you are highly motivated for. And normally it's common in people who have ADHD and other executive function conditions. When we say executive function conditions, we're really talking about neurological or cognitive challenges that you might have that affects how you regulate your emotions and your actions. So we think about ADHD, maybe autism, depression, anxiety, stress. So all those can contribute to time blindness, because time blindness in itself isn't a medical condition, it's a symptom of something else. So signs that you might be time blind. So you're either always rushing or you're always late. I know for me in the morning, I kind of struggle with this. I normally have like a mindset as to what time I'm going to wake up, but it never really happens. Underestimating time needed for tasks, I also suffer with that. Hyperfocus and forget the time. So you might have like a lot of tasks. Most of us have more than one task to do during the day, but what happens in this situation is you might get focused on one task and forget the time. So say you're supposed to clean your house and you get stuck on, like scrubbing the bathroom, right? So now that cuts into the time that you were gonna clean your kitchen or clean your living room, and you kind of forget you're gonna do that. Trouble switching in between tasks. So that goes under time management and planning. So if you say at work you're supposed to host a webinar and then edit other presentations, right? You might have trouble, between trying to work on your webinar and execute your webinar and then having the time to edit your other presentations. And then you can't feel deadlines approaching. I feel like a lot of people suffer with that. I know for me, I had that like with school, right? Like you have like this semester long project and your semester starts in September and you're telling me that my project's not due until January or end of December. I have a hard time saying, sensing the urgency there, right? I know the deadline is approaching, but in my mind, I'm like, it's nowhere near here. And then here I am the last week of the semester trying to do all my work. So what's really going on? So time blindness, again, is rooted in executive dysfunction, and it's in your brain's prefrontal cortex, which is like the front part of your brain right here. and it affects how you organize, plan, and feel time. So again, if you have time blindness, your brain's not able to process how much time is passing. And as we mentioned, this is seen in ADHD, anxiety, autism, and depression, and these are all conditions that interfere with your cognitive and neurological abilities. So how time blindness shows up in your daily life: you are late to school, work, or meetings. Again, if you have problems, with poor time management, you're going to be late to things. You're going to miss your deadlines. You forget appointments. You have frustrated relationships and last minute rushes. But right, if you're missing like not only work and school, you might miss important things. What if you're missing like somebody's birthday, or you're late to your significant other's, I don't know, promotion dinner, right? Like things are important in life. These are important in life to people, and if you miss them or you're late, they get upset about it. This causes stress, it causes guilt, conflict, and burnout. Again, you're stressed out because you're not on time. Maybe people are frustrated with you. You're guilty because you're missing like things in life that you really want to be a part of. That birthday party, that promotion dinner, that retirement party, maybe your niece's graduation celebration, right? So you feel guilty that you're missing these things, but you kind of can't get it together to kind of, get yourself there on time. And again, conflict goes hand in hand with frustrated relationships. If you are, in a relationship, like Cheryl had said, if your partner has to pick up for your time blindness, that could cause a lot of conflict because you guys are arguing a lot and you guys are disagreeing on what's important and what's not important and how to get the things on time, right? And it could cause burnout. If you are managing your time very poorly and you're saving everything till last minute, it'll cause you to burn out, right? And I know a lot of students suffer this, even at work, right? If you have a lot to do and you're like, oh, it's not due till next week, and then you wait till Thursday to do it, it could have you feel burnt out. So tools that help with time blindness, you can have a visual timer. So I know that could either be a timer on your phone, it could be a timer on the TV screen, it could be an actual clock. They have those clocks that are they're digital, and then they tell the actual seconds and minutes in between. Your phone alarm and reminders. I know for me and a lot of the people who I work with, they will set an alarm to clock in, clock out for lunch, things like that. Calendar blocking. So if you have something important to do, so maybe you are from 9 to 12, you're cleaning your house, and then from 1 to 3, you are babysitting, right? Blocking out your calendar. So then that way that other things shouldn't be able to interfere. Task chunking and estimating. So basically what it sounds like, right? You are cleaning your house, right? So say you estimate that takes 4 hours, right? And then you say walking your dog will take an hour, right? That's time chunking and estimating, right? And sometimes we overestimate or underestimate. If you overestimate, that's actually good because then you have spare time to do something else or to take a break. Written daily plans. So that could look like just like a daily to-do list. I have one of those with Post-its, and I keep it on my computer, on my laptop, on by the keyboard. That helps me to visually see it. I'm a visual person, so I need to see it. And Pomodoro technique, in a nutshell, is basically you're taking a task and you focus on that task for a set amount of time, usually 25 minutes. And then after that 25 minutes is up, you reward yourself with a 5-minute break. And then you go back to that task and you keep redoing this circuit for at least I think it's 4 times or however long it takes. And it's supposed to help you complete the task. And basically you decide on the task you want to complete. Actually, I misspoke. I never heard the name of this, but I used to do this technique. I didn't know it had a name. So what you do is you pick a task to complete. So what I used to do mainly when I was typing papers is I would start typing, and then I would say I would do it for 30 minutes. And then but the key to this was I had to put my phone in a different room because my phone is my downfall. I will check it within every few seconds, and then I have that mindset it's 1:40, now I can't start my work till 1:45, and then it'll keep just going on. So you set a task, you set the timer for 25 minutes, you work on the task until the timer rings, and then you give yourself a short 5-minute break, and you keep repeating it. And each time you take a longer break. Obviously, you can modify this, right? If 25 minutes isn't applicable, try 15, or maybe you need longer time, try 30. When you have a break, like reward yourself. I used to give myself like a piece of candy. But make sure you limit distractions, right? Maybe put your phone away, make sure the TV is off, make sure your music's off. Sometimes music can be very helpful, but sometimes it can also be distracting. Build smart habits. Again, plan your day in chunks. Maybe you're working 9 to 12, 12:30 to 1:30, you're taking a lunch, and then 1:45 to 2:45, you're taking your walk or you're working out. Use visible clocks everywhere. Again, having visuals is very helpful. Those timers on your phone, clocks. I know not many people use clocks anymore because we all use our phones, but those could still be helpful. Check in with the time every hour when you're doing something. Check in and see what time it is. Sometimes, you're not aware of how much time has passed. That's what the time blindness is. And just check in with yourself, see how you're doing. Add transition times in between tasks. So say you are cleaning your house 9 to 12, right? So instead of saying, okay, from 12 to 1, I'm going to go to the park. No, put in like a little in between time. So maybe like 12:30 to like 12:45, you're traveling to the park, and then you go start your workout. Maybe even at 2 o'clock, give yourself like some time in between. I know here at work we do that. We give ourselves like a grace period of when we are going to do presentations. We get there like a half hour early just to give yourself that transition time. And then reflect on how long your task actually took. Sometimes we overestimate and underestimate. Maybe you don't need 3 hours to clean your house. Maybe you only need 2. Maybe you only need 1.5, right? And maybe your workout went faster than you expected, so you have more time to do something else. How can you help someone with time blindness? Be patient with the person. Remember, it's neurological, not intentional. So again, we mentioned that this is seen with people that have executive dysfunction issues, the cognitive issues with ADHD, autism, depression, stress. They're probably going through something. Help set external reminders. Again, that could be the reminders on your phone. Maybe you're writing it down on a notebook piece of paper. Maybe you have a calendar and you write that out. Celebrate small wins. No, don't shame and coach with kindness. So if you know somebody who's going through this, don't make fun of them for it. Try to help them out. And if you're going through this, give yourself some grace. Like life is hard. Celebrate the small wins. So if you're working on a 10-page paper and you finished 1 page, give yourself a win. Celebrate that win. Maybe that's when you take your break. Go get some candy, something, dance, something. And use a shared calendar or use shared reminders. So if you are in the same class as somebody or, work with somebody and you have the same schedule, share your calendar, share reminders. I know here we do have a group chat, and there are sometimes reminders to clock in, clock out, just to give like those helpful reminders to people. And time blindness can be managed with the right awareness, tools, and support. It doesn't have to run your life, and compassion and structure can go a long way. So we can reflect and discuss. So does anybody want to talk about what time strategies work best for them? With me, it's definitely having the reminders in my phone so I can look at them, and having like alarms set in my phone, and having the little post-it notes on my computer. But does anybody want to share, maybe in the chat, or want to unmute themselves? Or we can talk about how we can help people who struggle. Setting alarms in your phone. Yep. Setting phone reminders in my calendar, alarm clock, and still forget. Well, yeah, that happens. I know for me, writing things down, I have to actually like change the alert noise, or they all start to sound the same to me. And I'm very like, have my phone on vibrate a lot, so I have to actually remember to, put it on loud. Use Alexa as a timer for every task. You know what? I actually do that with my daughter. And now she will tell Alexa to set a 5-minute timer. So it's generational. But yeah, definitely using your phone, using technology, writing things down. That could all help you with time management. You support people by just simply being there for them, realizing that they're struggling with something, and try to help them out if you can. You know, if they struggle with maybe getting to the gym on time, you know, give them a call or say, hey, let's ride together. So that kind of motivates them to come with you and be on time.
Thank you, Brianna, very much for that very informative presentation on time blindness. That is something that I think everybody can relate to in one way or another, whether we have those deficiencies or not. You know, time gets away from us. Some of us procrastinate, we put things off, and all of this is good information for helping us. So we do thank you again for that. If you'd like to give any feedback on Brianna's presentation, you can always email us. We greatly appreciate it. And if you did enjoy the presentation and want to keep up with NJ4S Union Hub, you can always, again, email us at NJ4SUnion@preventionlinks.org. We thank you again for attending. And Brianna, thank you again for that wonderful presentation. Thank you guys for coming, and hopefully we'll see you next time.